Hello, welcome guys. Welcome to Wacko Radio. Tonight's episode is gonna be it's gonna be a grim one, guys. It's gonna get dark. It's gonna get dirty. We're gonna be talking about some some serious shit. We're gonna be talking about some of the scandals and the allegations. Is that the word? Allegations involving Hollywood. Alleged Hollywood people and stories. So buckle up, guys. We have a guest here with us and a fellow Hollywood-er. And
from
Hollywood, the Hollywood Hills, and we'll be introducing him and discussing the smack after the music. Wacko Radio. Here we go. Guys, this is it. Cripes is upstairs singing. He knows what we're talking about. He's like, no. He always wants to make the cut with these Wacko Radios. But enough about Cripes. We're gonna talk about another hairy bastard tonight. Is the main focus. But first, a non-hairy bastard guest.
Wow.
It's a nice way to
he's back and ready to bone. It's the turn man himself, coming back from Keanu Town.
That's the best introduction anyone
Turner
has ever given me. Yeah, I don't
that.
think it'll ever get better than that.
What's up, Turnburn? How's it going, dude?
It's good.
It's good. And we got Liz Wacko, of course. Yeah. Always whacking it in the corner. Never whacking the corner. So tonight, guys, we're gonna get a little bit serious. We're not really talking about a movie or a specific star like Keanu Reeves, where we basically bow down to him. Tonight, we're gonna do the opposite of bow. What is the opposite of bowing down? Bowing up?
Standing
straight up. It's almost to stand up for yourself.
Yeah, that's probably appropriate,
but,
right?
It's kind of a crazy time for the Hollywood right now. We're located in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We're not really from Hollywood. We try to be Hollywood, I guess. There's a lot of scandals going on right now, guys, isn't there? Big one right now is the big HW, as the world calls him, Harvey Weinstein.
Harv.
Yeah.
That was a big one.
What the fuck is going on with that? I don't know, man. What do you guys think about all this Harvey Weinstein-ishness?
I just want to know who actually, it's obviously didn't just happen. It didn't just start.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. So do you think, was Bill Cosby, was he the first domino, and it's just to start
I'm sure,
toppling down?
I just mean in terms of just, you have, people who are in this powerful position that you probably know it for years and years and years, and it's we can't say anything, it's not going to matter.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, who did, what actually started it? Who was all right, that's
it sounded like a lot of people.
It's
it's been going around. It's been going around for forever, I guess. Really, it's not to.
And what's his face made a joke about it. Seth MacFarlane made a joke about it.
Yeah, he did.
When the Oscars were when he hosted it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
3 or 4 years
they
ago.
Also, Seth MacFarlane. Also, I remember in some Family Guy episodes they have Kevin Spacey. We'll talk about Kevin Spacey as well. He has some Kevin Spacey stuff
that he throws in there, I think.
Which was it? Kevin Spacey's great. Have you ever worked with him, Turner? Kevin Spacey?
I don't think so.
Are you a big fan of his?
I like Kevin Spacey.
He's a great actor. But you know what?
Well, I liked his acting.
Oh yeah, I like his acting.
I
never saw it. Have you seen House of Cards?
Yeah, I watched House of Cards. Yeah, he's good in that.
I always heard.
Yeah.
I heard.
Which I guess that's canceled. Or now they're talking about
it's postponed or something.
Killing his character off.
Yeah.
And possibly I haven't it written down on these notes. They talked about replacing him possibly with fucking Kevin James.
I saw that.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Really? Huh.
I guess they figured keep it Kevin,
I thought was that a joke? Someone was like, you should just replace everything Kevin Spacey does with Kevin James.
Is that a joke?
Just, I don't know.
Well, Kevin Kline, he's good.
Yeah, Kevin Kline's good.
Kline's
probably
sweet.
better than Kevin James.
Yeah, I would.
Kevin James has that show now. Kevin Can't Wait or Kevin Can Wait.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, they brought what's her
Leah Remini.
Yeah, they brought her back. They killed off his wife in the show.
Oh, really?
And then they brought her in as like the replacement, I guess.
That's like, I guess that's cool. It's kind of trippy. I mean, I always liked King of Queens. I was
that was
a fan of, but we saw a little bit of that Kevin Can't Wait. Can or can't wait?
Kevin can wait.
Kevin can wait. Can he though? No,
Probably not.
You know who can't wait is that Harvey Weinstein though, man, because he's always jumping the gun with these poor actresses. But I don't know, man. It's funny because there's so many. I feel like you could talk about hours with so many different stories. But like I know like a quote that keeps coming up is like people say, "Oh, that's." Like, oh, that's Harvey for you. Oh, yeah, that's Harvey. It's just like, so like people just know or knew all these years, and
I think he had, he had engendered a lot of, I don't know about goodwill, but a lot of people owed him, I think, and he maybe, I don't know if he used that specifically to keep people quiet, but like, like Quentin Tarantino, I know, came forward and said like, I knew enough to do more than I did.
Yeah.
But, like, Quentin Tarantino wouldn't be here without Miramax. Kevin Smith wouldn't be here without Miramax. Ben Affleck and Matt Damon.
Yeah, you said Goodwill, made me think of Goodwill Hunting. That was big Miramax.
Yeah.
They never would have gotten their start without Harvey Weinstein.
So you're probably... It's like when
I feel like Ben Affleck keeps you keep seeing some sizzling going on with Ben Affleck about some stories and allegations.
On the other hand, though, like, at this point, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon are big enough to, like, what do they care? Like, Harvey Weinstein's not going to ruin Matt Damon's career at this point, or Ben Affleck's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
unless something comes up with Ben Affleck, because I don't think I heard Matt Damon is a nice dude. He was in town. Did you work on Promised Land?
No, but anyone ever said with how great of a guy he was. And like that's why I feel like these people who have to come forward now and like kind of defend, or like, I guess not defend him, but like they're kind of being thrown under the bus because they were just associated with him.
With Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I feel like it's a little unfair, but like at the same time, like they knew stuff, and if you
Yeah. I don't know, it's
a tricky situation.
Yeah, I remember when it first broke, and you would see people like getting in Twitter fights and stuff about what Matt Damon or Ben Affleck said, and we're just like, well, Matt Damon or Ben Affleck didn't do this.
Yeah.
They didn't,
Yeah, like you shouldn't like it. So even like the movies itself, like I know they're saying like, oh, they're trying to take Weinstein names off of like movies that they produced years ago.
Yeah, they kicked him out of the...
You gotta kind of keep it separate. It's not like it's the movie. I mean, you can't really associate him with the movie, even though his name's above the title.
Yeah, like you don't see...
Or Miramax is above the title.
I mean, at least in that sense, where it's not like you see Goodwill Hunting on TV and think, oh, Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, I don't want to watch this now.
Wouldn't.
Exactly.
You might know who he's more now.
Opposed to like an actor.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As opposed to
Bill Cosby.
You see their face. Yeah.
It's like you see Bill Cosby and it's just... Or even Kevin Spacey now. It's like you're going to watch a Kevin Spacey movie and be like... It is going to... Probably be the first thing that pops in your head.
That's what you're just like, ugh.
Yeah.
That's what's scary, man.
We don't want to support that. Like, you don't want to... Exactly. I don't want to go pay to see his movies.
So do you think, like... So is he, like... Do you think Kevin Spacey... Is he just... Think he's done? Like, do you think his career is just, like...
He may be.
Done?
Because his
30-year plus year career just...
It would take a long time to...
I guess he's not like... He's not old. He's not, young.
How old is he? He's 60s,
it's not
right?
Like
is he 60s?
But he's been around for so long.
Yeah. I love, too, that he got caught, and this came out.
Who, Kevin Spacey?
Yeah, I forget who it was. It was an actor, wasn't it? Like a child star or something?
Yeah, you know what, actually, he was a dude, he was like a theater actor. And he was in a couple movies. He was actually, I think it was the actor, and Road Trip? Did you see Road Trip?
Oh, yeah, with Tom Green.
With Tom Green. That was a terrible impression. That was even close. He was the actor that, like the antagonist, like the dude who, like the nerdy dude who's into Amy Smart, and she ends up getting with Breckenmeyer.
Breckenmeyer was into Amy Smart.
Yeah, but the dude, like the nerdy dude with the glasses, who like wants her, and then like
is that who it was?
I think it's that actor because he was in Rent.
Okay, so he wasn't one of the. Okay, so I get it. I was thinking one of the main.
No, DJ Quayle? Is that his name? Whatever happened to that dude?
I don't know. I haven't seen him in forever.
Oh man.
But yeah, he I guess did something inappropriate to this when he was like 14 or something.
Yeah, so I think this actor, we should find out what this actor's name is. He was 14 and Kevin Spacey was 26 at the time. So this is probably...
And he was like in charge of the
it was some theater, like a theater
right?
play. And they had some sort of rap party of some sort, and I guess like Kevin Spacey must have gone on top of them and stuff, and...
But anyway, like, what a bad time to be like... I'm gay too, by the way.
Well, that seems like
look at this shiny thing over here.
That seems like such a cover.
Well, said, like, because I was reading something about that, and I don't know who was like, I can't remember who was talking about it, but they were saying like, well, so does that make it okay? Like,
I don't know.
Who were saying like, well, I'm a gay man, and I don't think that's okay.
Like, do you think that his like
now he's like they're
like he's like, but I'm gay, so it's supposed to be like.
Do you think that was his reading of the situation? Like, they're only making a big deal about this because it was a guy.
It could be.
Maybe we'll just tell him I'm gay.
Maybe.
Yeah. It
just be. Like, it's because I molested him. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's
offensive to just be like, well, I'm gay.
Well, to
think that will cover it up.
It seems like a big cover up.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like,
it seems like maybe people.
Like, I don't think anyone bought it. Like, I don't think anyone was like, oh my god, Kevin Spacey's gay. Wait, what was this Harvey Weinstein stuff everyone was talking about?
Yeah, or even the Kevin Spacey stuff with this actor, this 14-year-old at the time. And then Spacey, and now like just more and more people are talking out. But I guess like Kevin Spacey was real inappropriate during House of Cards with like a lot of the PAs and stuff like that.
Yeah,
the production assistants.
It also someone out.
And so it's just like, which I do. I mean, it is nice. I mean, the situation's not nice, but it's kind of. It's nice that these actors or these crew people are now like, okay, the door's open, I could say it, because at the time when it's happening, it's just like,
no one's gonna listen
it's
to
this
me.
Powerful actor, House of Cards, I'm sure he's like producer, he's probably one of the main bosses. I mean, you're a star at that level, like you are the boss. I mean, like you've been on Terrence been on plenty of sets and all that.
That's why it is brave of them to come out and say that, because it's not easy by any means.
It can't be. That. I mean, and even with like the Harvey Weinstein stuff, we got a couple stories here, but
it's like those below the line people, like the props assistant, like isn't gonna have the kind of cover that like Jessica Chastain or who is the main. Main woman in the Harvey Weinstein thing.
Well, Rose McGowan,
yeah.
She keeps coming up. Oh, that's another thing that keeps happening, which is really scary.
She got to do it with Ben Affleck.
She's got to, yeah. Well, what's scary about, and we'll segue to Corey Feldman because I want to talk about him a little bit too. But what keeps happening, Rose McGowan started talking about this stuff, and then all of a sudden, she has a warrant out for her arrest for some like random ass drug charge, and she's like, "What the fuck is this?" And then that is really scary because then you think like, it just goes to show you like someone like Harvey Weinstein and his people. I'm sure it's his people too, have such power that they do control the law basically, and that's why they do these things, because they imagine that they get away with it.
Yeah, I mean, how many times have people after something has happened said like they said to me, "No one's gonna believe you anyway,"
Yeah.
Like to someone who has been like.
It's your word against mine.
Molested or raped
exactly.
or whatever.
It's your word against mine.
Right, like no one's gonna listen to you, and I'm more powerful than you. So.
And that's the thing with Harvey Weinstein is like, because nothing's really came. Has there any actual like rape charges been coming out yet?
Apparently, in New York, the NYPD, there's some old accusation that they're like looking back into, I guess. Of like, I forget. I don't know who was associated with what like actor or actress.
Well, was it because I know Corey Feldman's been talking a lot, which he actually explained, and it's kind of seems pretty fucked up. That I think in California, I should have this exact fact, but I think statute of limitations. That's what that's called when a certain amount of time passes.
Yeah.
I think California is the only state where it's like a 10-year
statute
of limitation, like gap of time.
I guess I don't know what. Maybe that doesn't pertain to like rape charges.
I think I don't know, dude.
Or in New York, maybe it doesn't.
New York, but he said like. He was saying, like, in California, it's, like, one of the only states that has such a short statute of limitation law. That it's just, like... Because it's Hollywood. I mean, that's where all... that's, like, where the movie business, quote-unquote, is. And it's just, like, that's, like, kind of scary in itself. Because it's just, like... It seems like they made that call so they could get away with this stuff. Or, like, oh, I'm gonna... What child actor is going to speak up? And in 10 years,
that's pretty scary. Like, if they're willing to go to that extent to, like, cover this up, like, how bad is this problem then?
Yeah. And it's like, so, like, Rose McGowan, like, all of a sudden, she started running her mouth, and then they slapped her with some warrant out for her arrest or some drug charge. And then, like, a week before that, the same thing happened to Corey Feldman. You familiar with the 80s star actor Corey Feldman?
He's like someone was like following him or something.
He's been coming out a lot about it right now, and we'll get into him too. But same thing happened to him. All of a sudden, some warrant out for his arrest for some drug charge. Like all of a sudden, and it's like, what are they like? Why are they trying to lock these people up to shut them up until they could? Seems like to get them in jail so they could try to figure out how to quiet something.
And then too, like if Rose McGowan gets arrested for drug possession or whatever it was, everyone's like, oh, well, we don't need to believe her.
Right.
She's a druggie. Like, why?
Exactly.
She's some crazy actress.
Exactly.
Like,
no, that's a good. You're absolutely right, dude.
Because I think that's what it is at this point. It's like try and slander the people that are saying these things. But I mean, there's so many of them now that it's
just really building.
Like, well, you kind of.
Can't do it to everyone.
But Harvey Weinstein, it seems like all the stories. It's like it's almost like, I don't want to say borderline. I guess you could maybe say borderline like rape situations, but it's always like asking for a massage or watching him shower. It's nothing physically like, oh, I wanna fuck you. You know what I mean?
It's
like
more like just creepy.
Like kind of like
ew.
Well, I guess too, like he would like stand in the doorway and like wouldn't let them leave.
Yeah.
So like not actually like literally like putting his hands on them, but like
exactly like teetering.
Yeah.
It's almost like
it's like right on the edge.
Yeah, it's like you're trying to like pressure someone into being scared and just letting them do it, and then it's like, will you let me? So
yeah. Which like it's just mind-boggling. Like he's like you can't if you're rich and it used to be if you were rich and powerful and a white guy, like you're fine with women. You know?
Yeah.
Like chances are.
Is he a billionaire? He's not a billionaire.
I mean, he's probably close.
He's rich.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
it's like you really need to go through all that trouble to like. I mean, he's married too. Like,
I know they all.
To I think like a model or an actress or something.
Probably. But yeah, speaking of though, like
it's just like it's crazy to me that like I don't know why even put yourself in that situation. And there's just like something psychological about it that
I think you're and it's couldn't you just like order like some prostitute or someone like does it have to be? I guess it just all comes down to like just the power thing, like having power
over like maybe too like not just having power but having it over all like other powerful people, like having it over like
I'm the most powerful,
having it over this notable actress too.
Yeah,
it's not even like he's just some random person, a random crew member or something,
and that makes you think even more like, well, it's funny because like people assume like, okay, let's say like an actor all of a sudden, oh, where's this actor been? Like you haven't seen them. Oh, they must be like a failure now, even though a lot of times, like, no, sometimes these actors like have families or they just want to step away from it. Like, I feel like I think people, audience and the general public have an idea that if an actor isn't acting, they're like a loser,
they're dead,
or dead or something. But now it kind of opens your eyes. There's just like some of these actors or actresses specifically that kind of like fade away. You start thinking like, do they not?
Who didn't get a part because they didn't sleep with someone?
Yeah,
exactly. So actually, one story that this actor Lauren Holly, you familiar with her? She was like, have you seen Dumb and Dumber?
Yeah.
She's like Mary Swanson.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And she's been in the game for 30 plus years too, I'm sure. and you don't see her really that much. And you start questioning, but she just came out because she had a Harvey story, and this is a pretty scary one. So basically, what happened was she got called into his office for a meeting. She comes in. She said she was like early 30s at this point, so she's already kind of been around.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, she went in there, and Harvey comes out of his back room when he has a shower and stuff, and he was like naked. He just came out with his towel, like just basically butt ass naked. And she was like, okay, and he was saying like, oh, are you okay? Like you seem down. Like do you need like a massage? And she's like, no. And then I guess maybe he asked for a massage for him, and she was just so like kind of shocked, and she was like, I don't know, I'm not good at this. Like she was trying to be like, kind of like brush it off, like laugh it off. And then he started to get kind of closer to her and closer. She was getting like more freaked out, and then she said, no, I'm sorry, no. And then he started with threats, saying stuff like, look, like if you leave, if you walk away, like this is seriously going to affect your career.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to get hired. Like he starts throwing those threats out, which a man of that power can probably do that. And for a young actress that, you know, like you want to, that's the thing with being an actor, like you want to,
you can't turn down anything.
You can't. Exactly.
I think that's indicative of the whole industry.
I think so. But what happened, but the creepy part is though, so eventually she pushed him off and like basically ran out of there. She's all upset, and she drove or whatever, went to some restaurant where she had like another meeting with a couple other people, producers, whoever the hell. And she went in there. She was all like shoveled. She had like her makeup was down. She said she broke out in hives. She's real upset. And like these people at this meeting picked up on it, and they said, "Oh, Lauren, are you okay?" And she's like, "Wow, not really. I just came from this meeting with Harvey and blah blah blah." She was trying to explain to him. And the people are sitting there, this group of people, they're like, okay. They're like, well, did he like rape you? And she said, well, no. I said, okay, did he touch you? Did he do anything? She said, no. And then they answered to her then. They said, well, then you just better keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
And she's like, ooh.
Yeah.
If that doesn't make you want to like step away from the business, I don't know what would.
Yeah, because it's like, what kind of people are you around? Like, this is how it works? Like,
yeah.
You know,
everyone was afraid of him.
Yeah, it just seems like the stories are just keep piling up, man.
I think that's the sad thing too. Is like it seems like there's an industry around it that I don't want to say is okay with it, but is okay enough with it to not.
They look the other way.
Ever willing to look the other way.
Like okay,
there seems to be like an infrastructure around it. You know what I mean? Like, he had assistants that would help him, and then, like you said, like, you would go to these people and be like, well, he didn't technically rape you, so you better just
that's what
brush
I'm saying.
it off.
Like, I don't think...
Pretend it like nothing happened.
That's why I don't know... No story... like you were saying, Liz, it's always just, like, more like creep stories. There hasn't been, I don't think, an actual, like, raping, or, like Bill Cosby, like, drugging girls up and doing, like, that's, like... Like, he's done. Like, talk about a way to end your life, man. Like,
that is, like, a different...
Like, that's...
level.
Yeah.
Sort of. I mean, it's not okay. It's not like I would be like, oh, well, I wasn't upset by that. But it's almost, like, more threatening to, like... It's, like, threatening to make you do things.
That's crazy, too. Like, if... Like, what is it? Like, 40 women or something? Like, maybe even more than that.
Bill
Cosby? And they all come forward with the same story. He brought me back, he made me a drink, and next thing I knew, I woke up the next morning with my clothes off.
Yeah, I have a piece of my Jell-O. It's not good.
You're just like, what? Like, how many times does someone need to keep saying something before you're like, you know what, there's probably fire where that smoke is.
I know. And that's what's scary, and people cover it up. I mean, people just kind of look away, like you're saying.
But there's a lot of times when, as soon as one person says something, because they're upset or whatever, and someone else will say, you know what, that happened to me too.
Yeah.
And that's why it ends up being like all these people start coming up, and it's like, why is everyone all of a sudden this happen? It's like, that's why, because they're probably scared. You feel more safe when you have like, oh yeah, well 3 other people said you did it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then they can't say, well, you're just crazy.
Yeah.
So it's your word against mine.
Say there's power in numbers,
your word against mine.
You know, I would feel...
Do you think the Cosby one and the Harvey Weinstein one are different in any way? Like, the reaction seems different. Do you think? Do you think it's maybe because, like, the women, like...
Well,
and I, like, hate to say it, but, like, the women, like, that that he was involved with are maybe a little like they're older now. They're not as
Bill
established.
Cosby?
Yeah, they're not. It's not like
they're more like just random women.
It's not like Rose McGowan or Lupita Nyong'o or like these women who.
Who's that?
The black girl. She was in 12 Years a Slave. She had a Harvey Weinstein story.
Do you know it? Hmm? Do you know
the story? I think it was like the same. Like I said, the same thing. Like you go into the hotel room. Like you have a meeting with him. You go up to the hotel room and he walks out and is buck naked again.
And if you're like young, especially if you're young, you're trying to get into this business, if that's what you want to call it. Like, because what do you do? Because it like either. Like, I don't know. I do.
Struggling.
Or if you're struggling, and it's just like because then you have the people who do go the distance because they do want the part. Like, I keep hearing like Gwyneth Paltrow stuff coming up. I'm like, I wonder if like you like she probably did hook up with him. Probably she probably did go the distance to get like the fucking what's that Shakespeare in Love movie.
I mean, that's why I wonder about certain people who you're like they've been really big for a really long time. Like, did they make some kind of deal?
Yeah.
Like, I think the thing too about that is like, they did it, and if they made that conscious choice, I don't know if she did or not. I don't want to speculate.
Gwyneth?
Yeah, but like that they have to do that in the first place to get that part.
Yeah.
I think that's the bigger problem.
Yeah.
Is that.
And
it doesn't matter if you're good or not. It matters if you're gonna do this or not.
Because you know what, like if you don't, then there's probably 15 other women outside that door
who would.
One of them might.
Yeah, like they're basically living on the street. They have no money and they actually need art because they need money.
Because I guess like. Probably.
And then with him too, like being in a Weinstein Company movie, literally like changed Gwyneth Paltrow's life. She won that Oscar, and then you're a movie star. Yeah.
Right, if you could say it, you'll be a movie star if you do this.
Yeah, and like chances are, like he's not actually bullshitting you when he says that.
Yeah,
I mean maybe chances are he probably was most of the time, but like he had like the credentials to back it up.
Like he could say, I could tell everyone to hire you.
Yeah,
I could make sure that you win. Because a lot of times, like I wonder how
you're a star. Like we're gonna take care of you.
Yeah,
Look what I did for Meryl Streep, and look what I did for Gwyneth Paltrow, and look what I did for Judi Dench.
You start dropping names,
right?
That's why they were there.
And that's why. I imagine that's probably why.
And if you're like a 20-something girl, I don't mean to be hogging the airwaves here. Sorry.
What?
No.
But if you're like a 20-something, young actress, or I mean actor for that matter too, but like in this case actress.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna take that shot. Like this is why you're there.
You're there to become a star.
They know that. They know how desperate people are in this industry, and they knowingly prey upon that. And I think that happens throughout this industry.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, it's nice. It's good that things are starting to come out. It's scary because we talk about it all the time. We say like, man, like I wonder. It's scary. Like who's next? Like what name is gonna be next? Like Kevin, like it was started with I guess Cosby.
Well, Cosby was a big that was really like upsetting. I mean, he made the Cosby Show.
America's Sweetheart.
Yeah,
like really, like he had a whole stand up comedy. It was like family based. Like
he had that wholesome.
It was such a
he had like his Cosby Show was like a good positive image and it was good. Like everyone could watch it. Like and I mean that's like.
I don't think anyone thought like Harvey Weinstein was like squeaky clean.
Like it's not as shocking.
It's like his rep was already there. It just wasn't.
I think the scale of it is what's like really eye opening.
Yeah.
How many people it was, and they all have the same.
And then Kevin Spacey came out, which is almost like he seemed like an eccentric, like kind of weird dude to begin with. So it's not that much of a shocker. And now, you're gonna look at him, and that's what the first thing is what you're gonna think.
Well, that's the first thing I thought was the movie American Beauty, but I don't know. I guess if he's claiming that he's gay, then
but
maybe it didn't matter. I don't know, but it's just like
acting.
Yeah, right.
Acting.
Let's go. Wow.
But I just wonder who's next. It's I can't say exciting. Or it's interesting.
It's intriguing.
It's intriguing. Yeah. Exciting is not the right word. It's intriguing to see, like, what's the next name?
Because like I don't think it. I mean, it definitely doesn't stop. with like those 3 people.
No way.
Probably they keep saying it's the tip of the iceberg. That's what everyone keeps saying.
There's probably a lot of people right now.
Like how many? I mean, you could attest to this, maybe, but like how many women out there have a story like that? Maybe it's one story, or if it's like just some offhanded comment or something. But like in any workplace, in any industry, like how many people are out there?
Even in a small company, you're like, how did that person have that job? They don't even know what they're doing. And then it's like you hear later, well, her and the manager hang. Like it's so stupid. It's like because he's a manager at this small shitty company.
You
that's
have to
like
do that.
Power, really. Yeah. So that happens. That's just
everywhere.
Human on this. There's different levels to.
It's been going around forever. You know.
So like, I don't think it stops at Kevin Spacey. I mean, I mean, there's been other people, but like, I'm like, would you be surprised if? I'm not gonna speculate anymore.
Sorry, having some name drops.
It would be disappointing.
If there's another male,
there's someone that would really like. That's what I'm afraid of. It's gonna be someone like. I won't even say any examples, but someone who. Like, no.
Just someone you followed, watched growing up.
Yeah.
Love all their movies.
And if it comes out, it's like, no.
I don't know how you guys are, but like I've never been someone who's like, if I like what their work or a director or an actor or whatever, that I'm like, oh, I hope they're like a squeaky clean person outside of this.
Like, wait, what? What do you?
You know what I mean? I just like if anything comes out about this person, like they did drugs or they drank a lot or they've been divorced a bunch of times, I'm like, oh my god, like I can't watch.
Yeah, but what if it's like they're like a pedophile or like you like raped kids?
I guess I never had like that sort of like love for like one kind of person, like one actor or director.
Like there wouldn't be an actor that if it came out like
it would be like, oh my god, yeah.
But would it like but it would still be stapled in your mind that anytime you would see their movie, like you could still like the movie. I guess you could still like the performance.
No, it definitely taints it.
It taints it. Yeah, that's a good word.
That's
what's kind of scary. And then like, I'll tell you who. What if came out Keanu?
Oh.
No.
That would see. I'll take back everything I said. That would break my heart.
No,
that would devastate.
Now it's different.
Keanu's a good guy.
All that stuff on the train, that was just to cover it up, just to get you off his scent.
Yeah, he was really overcompensating.
He is a gentleman of the highest.
He's a saint, and we could talk about him. We'll do Keanu NKRD Part 2. No, but so how about all the Corey Feldman stuff? Have you been following any about that?
Yes,
that he was.
Do you hear how he's trying to like kickstart?
Yeah.
$10 million, which is a pretty big fucking number. But he claims that he wants to make a movie that's gonna expose like all the names.
Oh, he's probably gonna end up dead if he does that.
Is that what it is? He thinks he has like the black book.
Yeah, but it's weird though. It's not like he wants to make a movie. That's what's kind of peculiar.
I saw that he had the Kickstarter, and I guess I just didn't really know what.
And he wants the money because I watched him I've been following with his interviews, and he had one with our best bud Matt Lauer, Liz's favorite, her idol,
Matt Lauer.
And he was asking like, why do you need $10 million to do this? Because it does seem like pretty fucking high. But he claims that it's for like so he can get like a really good team of lawyers and like security around them so he can make this movie. But it's not a documentary. That's what's kind of peculiar about it. It's like a movie, like with actors and stuff. That's what I don't really understand what he's trying to do with that. I mean, I support him. I mean, I'm a fan of him. But Corey Feldman, that's the thing. Because he's trying to expose the pedophile rings.
That's what his big
that's
thing was.
The big thing.
He was,
and because he was a child. I mean, he was an actor. He started acting when I think he was 3, doing commercials and doing this and that. So he was really been around. And he says he was like, this is what he says at least. He's like, I know 1,000 other people in this town who were at the same parties I was at and at this and that, like, and like you guys should back me up and like start revealing and exposing these names. And he keeps saying he's like, there's this big Hollywood mogul that is like, if I could bring this person down, like it could probably bring down an entire studio. Besides the Weinstein Company and Miramax, like something completely different. And I wonder, like, oh man, wonder what studio it is. Even though every studio probably has, like you were saying, must have.
Yeah.
They all gotta have stories. There can't be a clean studio out there. Even like Disney. Like, I mean, I love Disney. I'm a Disney fan, but they might be the nastiest ones, man. Yeah. I don't, like.
That the pedophile part, I think, will change, like, if I'm on set again and I see, like, a kid actor there, like, how I look at them.
Like, when you're on set?
Yeah. And if
you worked with some...
You kind of look... You'll do, like, a double take now and be like, is anyone, like, around this kid? Like, is his parents around?
Yeah,
like is the director, like, a little too close?
Yeah.
Or, like, what, you know?
Yeah,
like, he was keeping their eye on them.
Not that I'm like the police of it or anything, but like,
no, but
just out naturally,
aware.
I'm like, like, what am I, like, what happens every day on these sets that, like, you would never notice, but now you're kind of like, oh, that was a little weird now that I think about it. Yeah, now
you're trying to keep, like, an open eye and ear on it. But that's the thing with Corey Feldman, like, he's been trying, like, if you interviews, he even did one, I think in, like, 2011, he was starting to try to expose it, and he wrote a book, and I read it. I read his memoir. It's actually really good. It's called Choreography, which is pretty clever, and it was his story, and I thought it was a really nice read. But he didn't say names specifically, but he talked about situations that were happening. And the other Corey Haim, like the two Corys, like he had it even worse.
Yeah.
He said that's partially part of his why he passed away, because probably just I don't know. I can't imagine. I really feel bad for, like, that's why I look at people like Britney Spears or, like, all these people who, the tabloids and the fans and whoever else, the audience.
It's hard enough.
They always jump to the conclusion of, like, oh, they're crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, they snapped. Oh, they're on drugs. It's just like, well, you're just hearing and reading what you want to be told. Like, you don't really know what the fuck's going on with these people and what they went through.
And, like, she had, like, that breakdown or whatever.
Oh, she shaved her head. She lost her mind. It's like, did she?
Well, maybe she was really, like, having a mental breakdown because stuff was happening to her.
I
know?
I mean, like a pop star like her, like, how bad do you think it gets?
I mean, she started, like,
for her.
The Disney, or, the Mickey Mouse Club. Club. Like Justin Timberlake, Christina Aguilera.
Like, too, do you think, like, someone like Leonardo DiCaprio, who's been acting for, since he was a kid, like, do you think he has some stories?
He might.
Probably.
He might.
It just doesn't, maybe, I don't know.
And he's been around for a while, and he's still around. I mean, even Christian Bale has been around since he was a kid, actor.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like, I don't want to say they're more quote-unquote, or I don't want to say they have it more together, but their career has been more consistent opposed to some other child actors who kind of like fizzle away from it, or maybe they lose their childhood looks, so they kind of, like, but that was a big thing. I remember when, when the first Michael Jackson, thing started coming in the early 90s, like maybe 1993, maybe it was early 90s, early mid 90s, when the first allegations came out about Michael Jackson. They interviewed Corey Feldman because he was probably early 20s at that point in 93, and he said it's on record, Santa Barbara police station, he said Corey Feldman's on record, he gave them names of people. They basically didn't care. They
of
was
kids
like,
or of adults?
Corey Feldman's like, well, because they were like, oh, tell us, did Michael ever do this? And he said, no, Michael Jackson was one of the good ones. I mean, maybe he was weird, but he's like, he never did anything to me. I never saw him do anything to anybody. But here's people who have done it.
Yeah.
But they were so caught up with Michael Jackson that they almost didn't care. They're like, well, no, we want to hear about Michael, because that was the big thing at the time.
Yeah.
And that was, like, I guess one of the first
big
thing.
Story, yeah.
That's a big story, and that was a huge deal. I mean, and now Harvey Weinstein, it's interesting. It's like, I guess, in whoever is going to be the next exposed person, it's like, this is the new Michael Jackson. Like, that was, that happened early on, and now here's kind of a new wave of things. And I'm surprised people even still try to do stuff with, like, social media and everything. Like, you really can't get away with anything anymore. I'm surprised
everyone has a camera now.
Yeah, it's just like, how do you
I'm waiting
think...
for that footage. You know, that it's like, you don't believe us? Well, the one night we had this whole thing set up at this person.
I think, too, with that, it's like, well, they want to catch the big fish. Like, if Michael Jackson was the pedophile, like, think of how that... If you break that story, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas, like, if, like, Joe Schmo, producer... who is like who works in Hollywood but like, I mean, you might recognize his name if you actually pay attention.
Yeah.
But like, you couldn't pick him out on the sidewalk.
But Michael Jackson.
But he's molested 30 or 40 kids or something, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's a real thing, but, like, I think, you know what I mean? Like,
the average person knows.
If you could go after Michael Jackson as opposed to Joe Schmo, you're going to go after Michael Jackson.
No, you're absolutely right.
Even if Michael Jackson was weird, but he didn't actually do anything.
And maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Like, and that's another thing, like, not to get off track and talk about that, but I've always had a big problem with people in general being so certain about things. Like, for example, let's say, like, with Michael Jackson, I don't like him. He's a child molester, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, he's a freak. He probably did it.
And it's just like, well, you don't know that. Like, were you there? Are you one of the victims? Yeah. Like, why? I don't understand why people are so certain and jump the gun so much and just list. I don't know. Like, it's always been a big pet peeve of mine.
I think, too, like, if you would have been like, who would you pick to be the pedophile or the molester? Harvey Weinstein or, you know, some rapper or something. Or some, you know, NFL player.
Yeah.
Like, well, it's definitely not Harvey Weinstein. Right?
Yeah.
Like, before all this came out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think people have prejudices and they want those to be...
Yeah, but yeah, so I always kind of had a problem. And I'm a big Michael fan, and I would love to think he didn't do it, but I don't know either, though, because I wasn't there. You know, I'm not a victim. You know, Liz isn't. That'd be a... One night, I got something to tell you.
The podcast for another time.
Yeah, I was at Neverland when it happened.
The ranch.
But I don't know. And then, you know, you start hearing, like, Brett Ratner. I have like, stories about him are coming up. But he always seemed like...
That wasn't very surprising.
No. I remember hearing stuff years ago. Oh, like, I even watched interviews with him. Like, this dude seems like such a tool, man. I mean, I love the Rush Hour movies. You know, we do. We're all Rush Hour fans here.
We're not allowed to love them.
We can't love them now. I can't support it.
He was like, what?
He directed them.
Yeah, but he's being accused of
just like inappropriateness
behavior,
with actors
kind of like
and
that.
Being a creep.
Yeah.
And like, I remember even watching some interview with him, and he looks like he would be a creep. But watching some interview with him.
Well, like, I remember. Do you watch Entourage? Do you guys watch Entourage?
Well, yeah, that episode.
They went to his house. And, like, they were trying to get him to direct. I forget. They were pitching him. I don't know what the problem was.
Yeah, no, Johnny Drama was trying to get on. We actually he was trying to get into Rush Hour 3. It's before Rush Hour 3 even came out.
Yeah.
We were talking about it.
Yeah.
So he went to his house,
But, like, they walk in, he's having, like, a pool party. It's just, like, and I mean, women in bikinis everywhere. And he's just, like, shooting this one woman on, like a Ducati, like, motorcycle or something.
Yeah.
And you're just, like... You're like, oh, so, like, everyone's kind of just in on the fact that this guy's, like, a douchebag, right? Like, they, like, almost seemed, like, painfully aware of, like, who this person was.
Yeah.
Because he was playing Brett Ratner in the thing. So it's like, well, if you're going to go to his house, I'm guessing this is what they think you would see.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, I think it's easy to the Hollywood angle of it is easy because there's notable people and there's big names.
Money.
Yeah.
You're in the spotlight, so
you're already
know
in
the
name.
name.
Everyone
that's
knows
the thing.
the
You're right. No, that you know what? Because like, yeah, there's thousands of child molesters and rapists and stuff, but you're not gonna hear about them. But you're gonna hear about Michael Jackson or Harvey Weinstein, or
not that it's like not fair that they should be getting the, you know, treatment that they're getting.
Yeah.
But, like, I think there's a bigger issue going on. Like, it's not just Hollywood.
It's not.
It's not like it's just the pervs out in Hollywood that are doing it.
No, it's not. I mean, women have to go through that every day with people saying things to them. And unwanted, like, you know, you're like, what are you doing? Like, and it's like, why is that happening?
Yeah.
You know, like, where is that line? But I don't think that's, unfortunately, I don't think it'll ever change because you have that small percentage of people who will let you get away with it. So, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I know 99 women get mad, but that one flirted back. So,
and her name is Liz Wacko.
And that's me, yeah. But like, it's true though. It's. I mean, I don't know. That's my take on it.
No.
Well, like, I mean, like, what choice do you have if you're a woman? And like, what do you like if someone's like coming at you like that? And what are you supposed to do? Just, like, automatically, like, pull your rape whistle out and, like, start blowing it and then saying, like, get away from me? Like, no, you act like normal and you kind of play it off,
you have to
right?
Be, like, usually just, like, roll your eyes
or you
and
being,
walk away and you're like, oh, my God, whatever, you know? And it also depends on how escalated it gets.
And, like, I think some guys take that as, well, she didn't slap me in the face, so clearly she,
or it's like, oh, you're just playing hard to get.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
No, like, not at all. That means not interested, or, you scowl and they're like, oh, why don't you smile?
Just because
Because I don't want to.
Just because I didn't throw a drink in your face doesn't mean
exactly.
Like,
I guess it's just it comes down to just that.
Well, who was that? What's that one story about? Since like some girl was, I don't know who it was too, but.
Well, like that someone we know personally.
No, not personally. It was like in the something you read about, and the one girl was like they said she was calling him a dirty old man.
Oh
but
yeah,
well
there was.
About it. So
yeah,
like,
did you hear the Dustin Hoffman stuff?
Oh, that's it. That's the one.
Well, I mean, I saw that he also had an.
Yeah, I know we were discussing this. Yeah, but basically, he was, I guess, borderline acting and saying some inappropriate things or talking about sexual things to this like intern PA who I think was 17. But in the story, she's saying things like, like what you said, like, oh, you're a dirty old man, aren't you, Dustin? And like probably like flirting back. And he's going to take that as fuel of like, oh, this is fun. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to do anything, but this is this cute chick who, you're 17. I mean, I'm not going to defend that, like, oh, you're 7. I'm not going to defend the age, but there's a difference than if she was 17 than if she was 11 or something. You know what I mean? Like, if you're 17, you're on a set, I mean, how much different does a 17 and 18-year-old?
What
you know? What I mean?
What like?
And if you're like,
did something else happen, or like, did he keep like pushing it, or what?
No, nothing was really pushed.
That's all that happened.
I think he said he asked for like a foot massage, and she would like give him one and stuff, and like maybe he's like, maybe kind of had put his hand maybe on her lower back when he was whatever this, but nothing was like.
But like, it was
nothing super vulgar, but
nothing so vulgar. It's still inappropriate, but it's like, but if you're. Like you said, if she was like flirting back and like, oh, this is this A-list actor, like this is fun. I'm gonna go home and like, guess what? Like, you're gonna go home to your friends and be like, oh yeah, so Dustin Hoffman has hit on me so bad, it's so cool, girl. Whatever. Especially if you're even crew people. I mean, that's just like Kevin Spacey being inappropriate with these production assistants and these crew
it's
like
whoever
people.
is around, basically.
Yeah. It's the same deal, even though they're not necessarily getting into acting or the spotlight per se, but. People get into this business because they want to work on these big movies. They want to meet these big stars. They want to experience and be like, Turner is, you work on more sets than anyone. I mean, you've been around for however many years.
Decades.
20 years.
Yeah, 30, 40 years. I've seen it all.
You know, kid. But
I was,
you know what I mean?
was on the set of
He's writing a tell-all.
Serpico with Al Pacino.
I was like Gone with the Wind. I was the... but even like if you're like a PA or an intern, like, and what the fuck are you gonna say? Like, you're not gonna ruin your career in a second, like, or I'm gonna quit on House of Cards because Kevin Spacey grabbed my junk, because I guess is what he was doing a bunch.
Which is like, that's like really
ridiculous.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that?
Like, smacking an ass is one thing, but you really got the distance.
It's just like you're on these set. You're just like, do you think no one's seeing this? Or like he just doesn't care? I'm guessing. That,
probably
like,
not.
He just doesn't.
He's like,
who's gonna do anything?
Did,
if you're the boss.
But that's a set culture though. Like that's, I mean, like that 17-year-old girl, like. If it's a 17-year-old me, like, if the actor asks you for something, and, like, if it's Dustin Hoffman, like, hell yeah, you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Because you want to keep working. Yeah.
It's crazy. It's weird. It's a weird business, man. And especially,
I don't want to
more so for the actors and actors, especially actresses. I mean, I feel like they have it the hardest, probably.
Yeah.
And they have an image that they have to have always, like, physically and emotionally. And, like, you go to Hollywood. Why do you go to Hollywood to be an actress or actor? To become famous.
Yeah.
Do this and that, and it's just like... And that's why... And then sometimes you see these actors that aren't very good, and then you think, like, I wonder how they got this part, or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just like...
we think about that all the time.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point, though. Like, it's kind of opened up, like... the can of worms. Like, well, how? Like, why does this person keep working? Why does that person not get a job?
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like you start to look at that now, and you're like,
yeah.
Or whatever happened to this person? They were really good. Or like,
yeah.
You know, this one actress, she's real pretty, but like, how come she never like blew up? It's like probably because she was just like,
she said no to the right.
Yeah, it's like no, person. I'll stay at this level
because I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
And that's sad. Like, do you have to? Is that part of it? Like, do you think for them to get, like, for Meryl Streep to get where she is, and like the Cate Blanchetts and
which is funny because so many of them are like,
and it's like sad. You have to ask the question. It's like, did they, do something to get that far? Like to be able to. I don't mean to say that like impeaching on their character or anything, because I think it's
they're just random.
It's the nature of
just random.
And it's like if you're ambitious. And you're an ambitious actress or an ambitious woman in that industry or in any industry, it's like, what, like, do you have to sell your soul at some point if you want to be, if you want to be the boss, if you want to get ahead? Whereas, like...
Yeah.
And if they've, if it's somebody who's been accomplished and they're a lot older now, they can always say, well, I was really young and dumb.
Yeah.
I didn't, that's an easy...
I was young, I needed the work, I wanted
thing
this
to
job.
say. I don't know.
I wanted to be a part of this movie, and if that meant having sex with this creepy executive, which, like, how cliche is that? Like, oh, the creepy studio executive or the creepy producer.
That too,
it's like super cliche.
It's a cliche at this point. It's like we all know, like, it's a thing.
Yeah. And you probably worked. I'm guarantee we won't name names, but I guarantee you worked with some of these producers. Like, oh man, like this. Who's this fucker?
I'm trying to think if there's anyone. Yeah, there's people. There's people you just get that feeling. Those people kind of give off a vibe. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And
like. You see them, they talk to people, and they put their hands on them all the time. And
we know some people.
Yeah.
Obviously, like I said, we won't say names, but
I've had people that I've worked with, worked under that I could say that, like...
They're not doing anything to us,
no.
But you would hear some of the crew girls, like, oh, guess what he said? Oh, man, he was doing this. Oh, he kind of...
They all have a story. Every single one of them has a story.
Yeah.
And like it's sometimes it's as harmless as he said this to me, I laughed it off and went about my day, and that was it. But or other times it's he keeps asking me out, he wants to keep buying me, there's like different levels, but like I would say that I could count on one hand like the female like production assistants that don't have a story.
Yeah.
That haven't said something,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. It's a shame, but it's good that things and people are getting exposed, because maybe they would clean up the business a little bit, or open some eyes and say, you know what, you don't have to be like this for this to work, or you don't have to do these actions to become successful, and maybe things will clean up a bit in Hollywood or the business, and any business will start,
Well, I forget who said it, but it's like there needs to be more women in positions of authority. Like, I think you wouldn't have some of these situations if it was a female director, if it was a female...
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, right.
Harvey Weinstein.
How would that play?
I
literally don't think it would happen as much.
I think the female director, I think it's like 5%.
Is that what
I feel like I just heard that somewhere. Where the fuck was that?
Because, like, how shocking would it be if it was like, oh, these stories came out and this female director was like, you have to watch me shower. But I feel like it wouldn't. it would be such the opposite.
Like, what if I was to tell you, I'm like, working on this Catherine Bigelow movie, and like all of a sudden she just starts like stroking my hair and like told me if I want to keep my job, I got to come back to him. Like, you would be like, no, she didn't. Shut the hell up.
And I feel like no men would say no to that.
Yeah.
So which is kind of also
that's
that whole. Yeah. I'm not opening that whole can of worms. But I'm just saying, just the way.
Yeah,
I don't know
that's how men are, but you can say it's really true.
I was trying to think of like the right word, like programmed or whatever. It's just like it would never be like, oh my god,
like you wouldn't.
She keeps touching me, like. The guys would never be like, I'm uncomfortable, stop. Like, it would never...
Like, the female producer isn't sitting there, like, looking around the set being like, see that additional PA over? I'd tap that.
Yeah,
I'd totally tap that.
Right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go, guys, watch this. I'm gonna go grab it.
Like, and then high five all the other women. Oh!
Yeah.
I bet I'd bang him later. Like
the other like 4 women on set. He's like,
yeah,
like,
let's like all harass all the men.
Nice.
Right. I'm not saying I wouldn't want to just see what that would look like.
Right? That's the world that we could be living
maybe
in.
On another planet.
Maybe.
We'll come back a year from now and have this same podcast where we're just like, men get no respect.
Yeah.
It's women have taken over Hollywood. Oh, it's like a meat market out there.
Yeah. You just have to whip it out and tell you either stay.
I was working on this thing. I won't say any names, but it was Catherine Bigelow, and she was
kept grabbing me. She cooking me dinner and like wanting me to stay.
She just won't stop calling me.
I don't want to give her any more massages.
I don't watch a shower, man.
No,
not again.
Please stop.
We'll come back in a year. Maybe that would be the case.
Which, like, I mean, if the pendulum swings that far the other way, like, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's justice.
I would just like to see it.
Yeah, right?
Just because.
Yeah, just to see what it...
I want to see men walk down the street and be uncomfortable because girls are like, oh, hey, come here, hi, oh, you're going to ignore me now? Sassy.
That happened today.
Like,
I was downtown today.
No,
and, like,
it's not sassy.
It was down by Point Park, and, like, just girls walking down the street. I mean, like, 4 or 5 guys just stop, turn, hey, baby, or yell to them. I'm just like, what, does that work?
Yeah,
like,
it's like Seinfeld has that bit we were listening to the CD about, like, honking horns and whistling. He's like,
what's the point?
What's the point of this?
Yeah.
I was in a parking lot, and I have, like, look at that. I have more than one story about it. It was, like, the dude that was in a minivan with his friend. It was just him and his friend in a minivan, like, middle-aged guys. They stopped. These 2 girls are walking into Target. And they stopped, and I couldn't hear what he asked him, but he asked him something, and her response was, oh, I don't do that.
Jesus.
Yeah.
But it's like, why do you even have to say anything?
Yeah, like, and then, like, her and her friend kept walking, and, like, they laughed it off. And then they pulled up again and asked him another thing, and then finally they, I guess, got the hint and drove off. But it's like...
Did they show any interest at all?
A freaking...
No.
Yeah.
They're walking to the store. Like, I remember the one time... and obviously, we can all have a billion stories, but since we're on the subject, when I was... Not recently, this is years ago, and I went out on my lunch break, and there was construction going on, and there was probably, like, 15, 20 construction workers on their lunch break sitting on the sidewalk, and they were watching all the women and saying stuff to all them. And they have the scaffolding like on a sidewalk, so there's not a whole lot of room. So I went out into this, like, walked around like out into the street, and when I had to walk past them, they were all like, it was kind of like just all.
You can see the heads turn.
They all do it at the same time, and they were like, and the one guy was like, "What's the matter, sweetheart? Are you afraid? Come here."
Like, yeah, I am.
I mean. Why can't I just not walk by? That I look in like, and they're always really disgusting. Which is, I'm not saying it'd be okay if it's Channing Tatum. I'm just saying, it's just like, why do you think you can just harass women like that? Like, and then
they're always with another guy too.
Always.
Like it's always more than one person.
All, like at the same time, it was like
because they probably work with all men.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about, like, you always have like that
testosterone
boost. The testosterone level. That's why there's always like that one construction woman. There's like 20 guys and the one woman. It's like
hell, what does she go through?
But maybe she like, I don't know.
Unless she's super like bush and maybe just like
yeah.
It's like sometimes you feel like I'd rather look really bad so no one says anything to
me. And I think like
I've done that before.
A lot of them would like, oh, we were just playing around. We're just joking around.
Yeah, it's like, but you're not.
You're making someone feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's what people are coming to grips with now.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like,
but
like, could we like figure out body language better? Like, if you're like.
I think genuinely, like, people, some of them do that because they think they're just joking around and it's entertaining. That doesn't mean it's fine, but I'm just saying, like, there's nothing like. They're not trying to like creep you out or like, but they just don't they don't get it. Like they just don't think like,
right.
You know what? Maybe she doesn't maybe she doesn't want to sleep with me.
Yeah, or maybe like she's not interested at all.
Maybe she just wants to go into that Target or go back to work.
Yeah, like do I really need to like say something? More than once. Because if you go, hey, and I've had that happen where you just are like, you just keep walking, you don't look. I'm like, don't look.
You know exactly what it is too.
Hey, I'm talking to you. Hey.
And then they get like offended. Like, why are you getting offended?
I had that. I'm like, Yeah, okay.
You're getting offended because I won't respond to your cat calls.
Yeah, that means means I don't want to talk to you. Like, am I supposed to drop my stuff? Oh my god. Yeah.
They come back from
I'm
their
here for you.
They come back from their lunch break. You're like, this girl was so rude to me.
Yeah.
I was like, I was so nice to her. I was like, hey, honey, why don't you shake that thing for me? And she didn't even respond. She just kept walking.
She kept walking, and then what a bitch.
It ruined my whole day.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Oh, so we're gonna turn it back to you.
Yeah.
That I'm still wrong.
That would be funny. Didn't someone must have made some sort of sketch where they did reverse it. Like they would have 20 construction women.
Yeah,
Didn't sound like live. I feel like I've seen that.
There was other random things that I've seen people do where they showed
Even though I guess it still is different though.
It was trying to be a public story, sort of as a joke, but also this is what it is like.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I don't think men would ever be offended.
Really
but
care.
It just showed girls hanging out of their car door this guy's
Guys,
so
they would still do the same thing. That then they would go high five their friends yeah, did you hear that chick talking about me? It's awesome.
It would probably even make it worse, right? Because these chicks are all yelling at me, man. They want it.
Yeah, in the perfect world, men would be offended, which would be great.
Yeah.
To actually know what it feels like to be uncomfortable.
So I think the moral of everything we're talking is just be more like Keanu.
Yeah.
Because Keanu is a class act.
So. Oh, yeah. Don't say it.
Keanu is just do what Keanu does.
Be a gentleman. Do it. What would Keanu do?
He would let you have his seat on the subway.
Yeah.
He's not harassing anybody in the subway. He's not yelling out cat.
He's not.
No.
But yeah, so I think there needs to be a change, and I'm glad that things are being exposed and coming out, and yeah, we'll see what the next big story is, and maybe guys we'll be back and we'll talk about that, but hopefully it's not someone that we really.
Please don't be Keanu.
Please don't be Keanu. Please, Keanu, if you're listening, man, just
don't do it.
Control it, dude.
You're 50. You're too old for that stuff.
You're Neo. You don't have to.
But no, it won't be. It's always the gross guys. It's always the weird dudes.
It's always That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. It's always the worst that you experience is from the grossest.
I know.
It's is that why? Because they
probably.
just don't get any attention at all.
Probably.
So they're losing their minds. I said I'm talking to you. No, goodbye.
That's but if that's why would you do something that is even more repulsive, right? Isn't that the thinking? Why would these guys if it's a guy like you said who's has trouble with women or whatever, and isn't a Casanova and isn't just walks into the bar and the music stops and you know what I mean? But clearly they don't like it, so you're just gonna keep doing it. You're gonna do something that's not helping you even more.
Well, you start resenting it, I guess.
Yeah.
It's you get angry. It's I'm sick of, I don't know.
And I think you said they just don't realize it. They think that's attract. They think just by yelling at something at you notice them. I guess.
That's why it's they because if someone even looks it's oh shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe in their head it's you still got attention. I don't know. It's really stupid.
But yeah, you're right though. It's always there's a type that you can.
You look at Harvey Weinstein. It's it doesn't surprise me. Because Spacey's kind of weird little dude. It's it's not really a shock. So I don't know. So we'll see who's next. I guess.
George. It comes out George Clooney. Oh, what?
Not the Clooney. Please, not the Clooney.
Not gorgeous George.
The Caesar cut.
Yeah, the Caesar.
Oh, he can pull that off too.
The Caesar.
I heard he's pretty cool.
But I don't think he has to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know if it was. It would be weird if it was all these really like Channing Tatum guys. Why are they
coming out and they're
oh he's so it's I mean I don't know. Men are still men. I'm not. But there's a big difference between what he looks like and Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, exactly.
Very true.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up here, guys, and yeah. So I guess let's hope this business and everything starts kind of cleaning up a little bit, and
The world.
And the world. We need to make the world a better place. WWKD.
What would Keanu do?
What would Keanu do? He would clean this shit up.
Keanu for president. I said it.
Started
it.
I would vote for him.
I would vote for Keanu.
I don't even care what his thing.
No.
I don't even. It wouldn't matter.
No.
President Reeves.
Who would be his running mate? Gary Busey.
Oh God. Busey. We need to have a Busey episode. We heard some stories, and I have some stories. I don't
have a lot of Gary Busey.
So next time we'll talk about some Busey, and we'll talk about more Hollywood, because this was fun talking about Hollywood, guys. It was good, and even though it was kind of negative stuff,
just what's going on.
It's what's going on, guys. So I don't know, any last words, Liz Wacko or Turnburn Andritz?
I think I've said more. Probably too much.
Nah, man,
I think we've all said too much.
Not enough. Well, guys, thanks for watching out there. Let's help it out. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and let us know what you think. And as we say here at Wacko Radio, keep on whacking.
Wacko.